Hey guys, and welcome back to the Jack Simpson Jiu Jitsu YouTube channel. Today we're going to be covering 10 points that you can implement to your routine today that is going to really help minimize your risk of injury during training. Now obviously Jiu Jitsu is a combat sport and combat sports are known to have a lot of injuries, but if you train smart, I guarantee you can avoid 90% of the injuries you would get. Before we get started, I'd also like to state that I'm not an expert in Jiu Jitsu. I myself am a white belt. But what I'm going to be telling you today are lessons that have been taught to me by high belts, purples, browns, and even some black belts throughout my journey so far. So let's get into it. So the first point is make sure you're adequately warming up and cooling down. Walking straight in the gym and getting right into training is a recipe for disaster. And although most gyms do have like a group warm-up session where you all run around the mat and do the typical movements in jiu-jitsu like hip escapes and forward rolls, it doesn't hurt to get to class 10 minutes before and just do a bit of dynamic stretching. Warm muscles are absolutely necessary for hard training as it increases the elasticity and flexibility of the muscle, allowing it to stretch, contract, twist and turn in all of the wonderful weird ways that jiu-jitsu requires it to. Warming up also has psychological benefits as it helps to transition the mind from a state of rest to a state of alertness. This mental shift is absolutely necessary as it's going to help with your strategy implementation, your reaction time, and your concentration when training. So number 2 is prioritizing proper technique over strength. In Jiu-Jitsu, the smart use of leverage and timing will beat muscle 9 times out of 10. This approach not only makes your game more efficient, but it also reduces the risk of injury for you and your training partner. So when the Gracie family invented Jiu-Jitsu, they specifically designed it so smaller opponents would be able to beat larger opponents. Maybe that's why I love it so much. Rickson Gracie is a great example of this. He was 185 pounds, which is about 83 kilograms, give or take, and he was fighting much larger opponents. One to note is a man named King Zulu, who was 350 pounds or approximately 160 pounds, which is just under double his weight, which is pretty insane to think about. But Rickson was able to beat him through immaculate technique and a lot of mental resilience, I imagine. So using proper technique doesn't only increase your chance of winning the roll, but it also reduces your risk of injury because you're not using and exerting ridiculous amounts of strength and explosiveness in uncomfortable and unorthodox situations, which of course can lead to injury. So number 3 is build a good strength and conditioning program or have one built for you. If you train, and the chances are that you probably do if you're watching this video, then you know that Jiu-Jitsu requires you to use a lot of muscles that never really get worked in day-to-day life. And for that reason, you need to strengthen those areas that are not typically worked out. A tailored plan strengthens your muscles and joints in ways that typical weight training doesn't. With your flexibility, strength, endurance, and mobility, all necessary for Jiu-Jitsu. Stronger muscles and resilient joint structures are going to help provide you with better protection during those unpredictable movements that come in training. Injuries are easily preventable if you condition your body to be able to withstand them. So number 4 is listen to your body. Those little aches and pains that you feel after training, it's like a check engine light on your car. It's a warning that you're exerting yourself in one specific place too much and that you need to take some time off to rest and repair that specific area. I get it. You want to train as much as you can. We all do. The next time you feel a little twitch and some pain in your back, just take the day off. I bet you'd rather miss one session to rest than miss 6 months of training due to a slipped disc. Listen to your body. So number 5 is active recovery. If you're training like an athlete, you need to recover like an athlete. Training for 5, 6, 7 hours a week of high intensity is very stressful on your body and your mind. Active recovery includes dynamic stretching, making sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, sauna, steam rooms, and of course, ice baths. Now, I'm sure you're sick of hearing about all the benefits that come with ice baths, but I'm here to tell you that they are true. Over a year ago now, I was told by an orthopedic surgeon I would need surgery on my knee as I'd torn my left patellar tendon. I decided to ignore his advice and I started cycling extreme heat and extreme cold, in other words, the sauna and the ice bath. Within 3 months, my knees were feeling as good as ever. A year on, and I've still had no problems with my knees when they used to crack and make weird noises all the time. Saunas, steam rooms, stretching, sleep, and of course cold plunges all allow me to recover quicker in between sessions, train more often, and I guarantee you the discipline that's built by doing an ice bath when it's 8 degrees outside and freezing cold will carry over to other areas of your life. So number 6 is always tap early. Tapping early is wise and not a weakness. Remember that during your training, it's just that, training. It's not the ADCC final. There isn't a trophy for seeing who can hold on when they're in a tight armbar for the longest. Accept the defeat and don't take it personally. Repetitively hyperextending your joints is going to cause you some serious long-term pain and discomfort in those joints. It's better to tap earlier and lose the match rather than to tap late or not at all and have to lose 6 months of training because you fucked your arm. Protect your joints, protect your progress, and next time, maybe just keep your arms close to your body. So number 7 is fuel yourself properly. I hear this expression all the time. If you're only allowed one car for your whole life, would you fill it with premium gas or just anything you can get your hands on? Would you surface it every 6 months or whenever an issue came up? Your body is the car. Now it is a little cringe, but it is true. Your body is the vehicle that's taken you through your life. So make sure you're feeding it with nutrient-dense, high-quality, unprocessed foods for maximum performance and longevity. Get your meat from the butcher and your water from the spring, not the taps. So number 8 is mindful sparring. And mindful sparring is being considerate of yours and your training partner's safety. The whole art of jiu-jitsu is about control, and obviously that applies to training as well. The whole point in training is to try and progress and get better, not to prove a point. Also, your mind retains information better when it's not under immense stress or high pressure scenarios. So the more controlled your roles are, the better you're going to retain the information and retain the moves that you've been practicing. Don't get me wrong, when I'm preparing for competition, most of the rounds I do in training are hard. But find people who are willing to match that energy. Don't pick an older guy that comes to training to stay fit and keep healthy and hit him with every move in your arsenal to try and tap him out, because that's where injuries are going to occur. So number 9 is regular mobility work. So I talked in an earlier segment about how warming up allows your muscles to get warm, flexible and elastic before training, but you know what else does that? Mobility work. When training jiu-jitsu, your body will be twisted and turned in ways that you never thought possible. Consistent mobility work will help increase your range of motion, allowing for smoother and more efficient movements on the mat. Improved range of motion also helps with executing jiu-jitsu moves correctly and safely, reducing the risk of injury via hyperextension or improper technique execution. Mobility work helps to strengthen and stretch the muscles across the body, making sure no muscle group is overworked or underdeveloped. This balance is crucial for maintaining good health and preventing injuries. So last but not least is find good training partners. Just 3 months ago, I was training with a guy who is very new to the art. Although I was being very cautious and careful with my movements, we started on our feet and he went in to take me down and ended up headbutting me in the eye, causing me to have 4 stitches and to take 2 weeks off of training. So obviously it's not his fault. We're both very new. It was 6 a.m, probably still both half asleep, but something like that is very easily preventable. My best sessions are often with people who are similar height and weight to me, similar ability level, so it gives us no reason to have to use strength and all the opportunity to try and tune up our technique. So there you go, guys. That's 10 actionable principles you can implement today to really minimize the risk of you getting injured. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.